Oh, actually, I do want to. I know we never got to speak about it because I wanted to talk about it last week. Um, Endeavour has bought out the other subsidiaries of the UFC. So all those private, like the private stockholders that had little pieces of the UFC. Endeavour originally had about 51%. You know, when they bought over the UFC, I think $4.2 billion or whatever it was. They've actually bought all the other areas. And now they have 100%. They have a controlling interest. And the owners of Endeavour have actually said, hey, and they're like a marketing and talent agency, right? They have said, actually, we're thinking of going public, which means it will be a registered stock.
Okay.
And things like that. And it'll be interesting to see it going public because Dana has always said the UFC should stay private. It shouldn't go public. It's the worst thing for the UFC. Don't do that, right? And it is a give and take with Dana because he's continued, even though he's made his money and he's continued to be the forefront, the president of the UFC. It's two questions. If the do you think the UFC will go? Actually, no, three questions. Sorry. Do you think the UFC will go public like Endeavour wants? Do you think Dana will stick around if it goes public? And three, would you buy stock in the UFC? And I think the third one's a yes, but let's go.
Yeah, obviously, yes. I want some stock in that. My favorite thing, which we built this podcast on. Do I think it will go public? I actually have a counter question. So, what are the negatives of the company going public? Is it just outside influence, and he doesn't want outside influence?
I think he doesn't want outside influence and controlling interest because a lot of people could go straight in and just purchase a decent amount of stock in it, and then they can have controlling interest and it can sway it a different way and make it difficult for... The best thing about the UFC is the freeness of the UFC as well as the freedom of speech as well. For the fighters, Dana always sticks behind the fighters and says, look, he said it. What are you going to do? He spoke.
Yeah.
Spoke words. Yeah. Now, public could make that a little bit different. How there could be controlling interests that say, "Hey, you can't say that. You can't do this. We're not going to fight there." Whereas Dana's very free with, we'll go to China. Yeah, we'll go to Russia. We'll go to Africa. We'll do all these things in good time. Whereas if there's public, there's a lot more questions on what they can and cannot do and what the fighters can say and can do. So it's a bit funny. I don't know.
Well, if that's the case, and I'm not really too sure the company will want to go public, though, because Dan doesn't want outside control, because he's done... especially, I understand where he's coming from. He led them through a freaking pandemic. It was the only sport that managed to keep going during the pandemic, and he's put on some phenomenal cars. We're already in April. We've seen so many of our favourite stars compete. We've got shitloads of great cars left to go. I think he just wants it to run smoothly. I feel like... For him, Dana White's like, let's put it this way. You a fan of Star Trek?
No.
No, okay. The UFC is like the USS Enterprise. And Dana White's Captain Kirk, okay? He's driving that spaceship, and it's a spaceship, and it's going at light speed.
Would he be flying it? Because it's a spaceship?
Yeah.
Flying it?
Yeah, he's flying it. Fine.
Driving it?
Fine, drive, fly, whatever. They're going through space. You know, he's got his crew, and all the people on the ship are the fighters. And now the last thing he wants is just a whole bunch of just random people just coming onto his ship and telling him what to do. And I kind of feel like he's done it because in an organization like that, you kind of need one person and you need a board of people, but you need one sole person driving everything. And Dana White's the head of it, and he's done a terrific job. And I feel like he doesn't want to let go of that power.
But the thing is, Dana only has so much power. He's employed as the president of the UFC, but he could be kicked off whenever whenever they want. Endeavour has a controlling interest in the UFC. When they had 51%, the major controlling interest, they instated Dana and they worked out a plan for Dana. Dana's still making a shit ton of money with the UFC, right? But now that they've got 100%, look, if Dana's not happy, they can kick him off because, to be fair, you called him Captain Kirk. Kind of is, but the ship is already on autopilot, and he can only do so much to change gears and move a little bit, right? They still got the GPS in the same direction if they say so. So I question if they're going to go public because I've said it a couple times, and I don't know if it's viable. if they do, fuck yeah, I'm buying. I'm buying some stock in the UFC because that can.
We'll set
mean,
up a last set podcast like company.
you can't say that all stocks just go up, but in the long term, I feel that would be a good investment for sure.